The views and opinions of this podcast are solely our own, with no direct intention to offend or upset.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
Hello everybody, welcome back to episode 23, season 5. Can you believe it? Season 5. I think we've been doing this for about a million years. Fucking feels like it anyway. And it's a special one, special guest. Well, first of all, my name's Craig. Get Chris here as always, and special guest, and the guy who suggested this film today, John Cameron. First of all, Chris, how are you?
I'm hunky-dory. A sentient being today. There you go. Sentient.
Fuck's sake. How much did you have last night? Thought you only had a couple of pints.
I must have a couple of pints.
You're a fucking sentient being.
Oh, I am at one with nature.
Well, you just need to stop walking about toe cross bollock. Get one with nature.
I'll do what I want.
You will. And as I said there, folks, we have very good friend John Cameron on the show. John, how are you, buddy? And now I can't hear you. Oh, no. He's taking his earphones off. I think that Bluetooth can interfere sometimes. Here we go. This is going to sound smashing in the audibles.
What about now?
Yeah, sure. Can hear you now.
Am I going to cause you an edit now?
That's all right. Don't worry about that. It's only about fucking 3 minutes. How are you, John? You all right?
I'm good. I'm not quite as sentient as some of the other hosts, but looking forward to this. Should be a good wee gas.
It's going to be good, mate. It's going to be good. You've picked an absolute doozy of a film, by the way. Absolute belter. And one I had to take off my list anyway. I don't know about you, Chris. Did you have that on a list?
Oh, I was on the list, but don't worry. There was plenty of reserves to go in.
Oh, aye, 100%. So, folks, as always, thank you for tuning in. We really do appreciate it. Big shout out to Quint for giving us the title tracks. Lewis and the boys doing good things, although I don't think they've been doing much gigs recently. And if they have, they're not doing their PR very well because I've not seen fuck all. So, boys, screw it up. Let us know when you're gigging so we can get out and get a pint and all that. And also to Native Oranges. Orange. Have your oranges. Native Origins, who Tim obviously is the CEO and director and inventor of, and they will be with us in April. So can't wait for that. Good to see John's got the advertising up in the background there, mate. Well done. Top quality. Facebook group page is at 461 wee happy chappies and ladies. And the YouTube channel's up to 338 subscribers, and you can get us on all platforms, X and fucking Facebook and all that jazz.
X because fucking when I go, no, it's Elon Musk, America, an American senator, an American celebrity, Elon Musk, Donald Trump, America. Something like that. Oh well.
I think he's lying about the amount of porn on his feed as well, Craig.
Aye. I guess I know.
You calling me a wanker?
Aye, it's garbage. X is garbage. And you would think that fucking Elon Musk actually owned it, wouldn't you? Stuff like that, bastard.
Nice.
Take a leaf out Zuckerberg's book and just fucking kick back and watch every cunt do it. So, as we've been doing for the last few months, we asked the Facebook group members if they want to give us one film to choose from, and if they would also like to come on and talk about it. And then every 3 weeks, we'll pick one for random and get them on. We've had a couple of crackers so far. We had Jaws, we had The Death of Stalin, and now we've got John here with an absolute classic from 1999, Fight Club. John, why Fight Club?
Fight Club was one of the movies when I was sort of growing up, in my opinion, but I wasn't quite. I was like 17, 18, so I thought I had it all sorted out. And then this movie came along, and you're like, man, that's earth shattering. That, like, just some of the stuff you've seen in it and hearing, and you're like, aye, that's what life should be like. Fuck consumerism and all that kind of stuff, you know. So I attached myself to it, thinking it was cool more than anything else. And then, like most people, you watch it a good few times, and you pick up something new every time that you watch it. Even watching it last night, picked up a few new lines and things like that I don't remember remembering. I just got that way that you didn't see many movies better than it. Even at this day, probably. But I mean, even IMDb kind of supports that. I think it's 13th on their list of 250 best movies.
Oh, is it?
So it's well rated. It's high up there. I'll be honest. When I watched it last night, didn't quite like it as much as I did when I was younger. But I'm putting that down to my own age.
Aye, aye. It's a bit of when I watched it again. I watched it for the first time in maybe about a decade, and there was a bit of fucking disappointed in myself how I've let myself become part of the fucking rat racing. Do you know what I mean?
So you got all the IKEA furniture in the living room then, aye?
Oh, it's just that fucking need for new things and all that. Like, everybody else, we're brainwashed into thinking we need a new phone every year. We need the best looking car we can get. All that shit. But it was ground shattering. Chris, what do you think about it as a movie?
Aye, superb. It's the rebellious movie of the times. But like you, I watched it last night and went, these guys are going to fucking right. 2 minutes there, turned on my fucking telly and you're a wanker.
Aye. And Chris has just ordered a brand new bed this week, so you're you're the narrator.
Yes, fight the power.
Fight the power. Yes, can I have the double divan, please? Aye. So, the premises of the movie is absolutely smashing, especially for 1999, 26 bloody years ago now. But a lot happened in 1999. A lot happened. And John's going to tell us what happened, didn't you, John? What happened in 1999, mate?
Thank you for building that right up. That's fantastic. Well, in terms of just things that happened, 1999 was the year that Bill Clinton's impeachment concluded. We could go around the room and do Bill Clinton impressions, but we'll maybe just leave that. Yugoslavia conflict escalated into a war. Pretty much changed the whole face of Central and Eastern Europe. You had the Space Shuttle Discovery being the first vessel to dock in the International Space Station.
Oh.
You had Sony develop an AI robot dog. So all this AI that's kicking about now, it's not as if it's brand new chat. It's been about for goddamn decades now. You had the Columbine disaster, which is a whole conversation in itself, isn't it?
I can't remember.
Aye. Columbine High School Massacre was in 1999.
Right.
And of course, 1999, being the year that we all wanted to party like it was the year of the Millennium Bug with Y2K, when space aircrafts were all meant to fall out the sky, but no, that happened just this last week, didn't it?
Aye. Sure did.
I thought I'd throw this one in there. The fashion of the time was the 3Bs, baggy jeans, bucket hats, and belly tops. Now, I'll admit I only do belly tops a couple of tries before I put them back in the wardrobe, but bucket hats and baggy jeans. Because I think 1999 was the first year I went to Tina Park.
Oh, right, aye.
So that was definitely part of my fashion back then.
Was it still at Strathy then? Aye.
No, if my first one, I'm sure, was through in Kinross.
Balado.
Aye. That was great. What a time. Movies of the year included Fight Club, The Matrix, American Beauty, Green Mile, and Toy Story 2. I was so glad because I've seen all them.
Bangers. Every one of them.
In terms of music, pop was massive in '99. The top singles were Baby One More Time by Britney, Genie in a Bottle by Christina Aguilera, Living La Vida Loca by Ricky Martin, No Scrubs by TLC, and then a wee token rock group in there, Californication by the Red Hot Chili Peppers. Needless to say, your bigger albums all came for that lot as well, but a wee extra mention for one of my favourite bands, the Backstreet Boys. They came out with Millennium, and I Want It That Way.
I'm on board with that shit. Don't you worry.
Yes, thank you very much, sir. On a sadder note, the death of 1999, the people that were taken away from us maybe too soon. JFK Jr., no, the other one, the most famous one, it was JFK Jr., so I don't know how famous he is to us. Stanley Kubrick passed away in 1999. He more than likely would have loved this movie. Buddy Rogers passed. Scatman John, Dusty Springfield, one of my own personal favourites for the wrestling world, Owen Hart, died in 1999.
Jeez, was that long ago?
Aye.
Hell,
I remember watching that live. I was sat up on my man's couch watching it and watching JR tell us that he passed away. And I was like, what? Couldn't sleep after it. Went to school the next day.
That must have been about, what, 2 or 3 in the morning that happened when you were sitting up watching?
Aye, because they all start at 1 in the morning normally. So, aye. But there we go. That is 1999.
Brilliant, mate. Thanks very much for that rundown. A lot happened. A lot happened, Foxy, in 1999.
See, thought about the Millennium Bug, by the way. I remember, well, wait, I'd have been what? 7 or something. And I remember being no well at the time. And I remember saying to my auntie, I think I've got the Millennium Bug. Get here, you fucking idiot.
As a bug in a boot. Fucking as a. I can just imagine you saying that. That'd be quite funny. I'd have slapped you off.
I'd have slapped him for being 7.
7. How about age were you in 1999? 17, 18, you said?
Me, 17. I'd have turned on the 28th of December in 1999. So I was still underage for the big bod ramping.
Jesus Christ, man. I was 2021. I was a bouncer in the garage and I was working that night. I get treble time for it and went to a party for 2 days.
Quite right. Couldn't do that now, could you?
Could you fuck? No, could you hell? You could walk about Glasgow and hug people and all that shit without getting your face tanned in by a junkie. But there we go. Simpler times, as they say. So Fight Club was out, as obviously this is a film that John has picked today, and it was directed by a very forward-thinking David Fincher, but it was actually a book, wasn't it? Written by Chuck Palahniuk. I don't know how to fucking pronounce it. But what a premises, what a book. Who was in it? Chris, tell us who was in it cast-wise, if you will.
Oh, it's a stellar cast, but the ones I wrote down, Edward Norton, Brad Pitt, Helena Bonom-Carter, Jared Leto, Meatloaf, who's also dead, Holt, McCallaney, Zach Grenier, Ian Bailey, David Andrews, Richmond Arquette, and Rachel Singer. I thought I'd give Rachel Singer a wee shout there because she's Chloe, and Chloe makes me laugh at one point. So
you left out the Joker.
I said Jared. Oh,
did you? Sorry, Chris. My old ears.
He's just the one that sticks out like a fucking sore thumb, and that's for the eyebrows, man. It's fucking mental looking. But it was a running time of this movie, 2 hours and 19 minutes, and had a budget of 63 million, making back 100.8. So still in profit, I suppose. Doesn't really matter to us. Doesn't make a movie great or doesn't make it fucking shite. It's all subjective at the end of the day. But released in 1999, absolutely brilliant. And it gets an ImDb score of 8.8 out of 10. And Rotten Tomatoes, a very respectable 81% out of 100, which is roughly the same. Have you get a quick synopsis for us, John, about the movie at all?
So essentially the film is about 1,000,001 things, if you were to break it all down. But the movie itself, you can probably look at it as one man's struggle with mental health, is how I see it. He has obviously an identity disorder in which he lets the voices in his head get a little bit too loud, and then that takes control. And it sort of speaks to other people's voices that they have in their heads, and before you know it, you have a lot of people in one space, and they all push towards the one goal. But you could honestly say that it is about consumerism. It's about toxic masculinity. It's about how feminine the American male was seen to become through, obviously, Mr. Palahniuk's eyes. And then it finishes off nicely with a realisation of, as great as those ideas are, there's certain ways to go about things, and maybe blowing up buildings isn't the way.
I don't know about that. The fucking world we live in now. I'm all for digging up Guy Fawkes and reincarnating the bastard, sending him down to Parliament to finish his job. You know what I mean?
Well, I think the idea of bringing down the financial institutions so they all start at zero again would be a great one.
That's a belter, isn't it? Absolute belter.
Yes.
Chris, you loved the film, didn't you?
Oh, aye, definitely. Because it's right up my street. Because I'm fucking practically got a beret on the now with the fucking world and it. Fucking all of a sudden, you're going to work. Oh, there's skis that wee bit of tax off you. Okay. I suppose it goes towards the system. We need men off you. Come on. Like, no, fuck you.
Aye.
I mean, the whole thing. Look, we've spoken about it many a time. You've got people out there that haven't got 2 pennies to rub together, but they're away getting the fucking iPhone 16 Plus on finance. Know what I mean? You're like, really? But aye. But the fact that it pokes a jibe at all that, when I don't think, well, I say I don't think many films did do that, but this certainly does.
100%. There was a few, I suppose, in roundabout sort of other ways. Do you know what I mean? When you look at American Psycho as well, totally different film, but a serial killer, blah, blah. But again, it just highlights everything that's wrong with fucking society and striving to be what people perceive as being the best you can be, but money, wealth, power, all that shit. But it's brilliant, an absolutely brilliant film. Like John said off camera beforehand, watching it again for the first time in years, I didn't realise how quotable this movie was, by the way.
Oh, aye. Definitely.
Aye, like you said, it's 26 years ago, but there's still so much that's relatable to today.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. See the way it actually mirrors today's society so much. It's fucking quite freaky. Know what I mean? Talking about the toxic masculinity thing yet. The way the world is right now, guys are told, no, you need to be a certain way. The way you were is bad, know what I mean? And this is like the pushback against it, know what I mean? It's quite freaky how it mirrors today's world.
Aye, because Falanichuk, that's what I'm calling him now, the author of the book, he wrote it in 1996. Now, he first came up with the idea for a novel after being beaten up on a camping trip when he complained that someone nearby campers were making a noise. So when he returned to work the weekend after, nobody questioned where the bruises and the cuts and all that came from. Nobody wanted that kind of fucking, they didn't want to know. Do you know what I mean? They knew something happened, but they just didn't want to know. And that's when he realised, by the way, this is fucking society, man. Mental, innit?
Oh, it is. 100%. Well, I mean, everybody's just preoccupied with a rainbow world. And like the whole thing, go to work, buy this shit you don't need. Just live and forget what else is going on about you, know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So it's like, they live, mate. Stay asleep, obey.
Aye. I was going to mention that and all. They live, but it's you absolutely love. I think it's right, but it's a good premises as well. Do you know what I mean? Exact same thing. Falanichuk actually said that he thought the film was better than his book.
Aye, I seen that as well.
You do not hear a lot of fucking authors ever saying that. Stephen King, for one, he's fucking never happy, that bastard.
Well, see, actually, the ending in the book, it was different from the ending in this film. And I was going to ask you if you prefer the ending or prefer the ending in the book, right? So obviously we know the ending of the book, the film, right? But the ending in the book ends with, say, the narrator, Edward Norton's character. He wakes up in a mental asylum, and it turns out, see, all the people in Project Mayhem,
Mm-hmm.
they're actually workers in the insane asylum. So would you prefer to have seen that ending, or is this ending in the film better?
I think that's one of the ones where you could put your two hands together. Like, see if you still have the cash and everything like that, and he delivers that last line. You met me at a very strange time in my life, and then it cuts to him in the mental place. I think that would give you the best of both worlds because it still ties up everything. But the ending sort of fell just. It got you up and up and up, and then just cuts. I mean, I never watched The Sopranos. Send your hate mail to me. But I've heard that The Sopranos is one of the worst endings in the world when it just cuts, and I guess I kind of don't like endings that are like that either. But you would want to see a wee bit of aftermath, I think, in the movie. Do you know what I mean? But even if it's just like generic news reports of everything that's came down, do you know what I mean? Like reporting about how that's all the financial institutions all gubbed and everybody's like panicking and it's chaos and how the government's responding and all that kind of thing. Just like voiceovers, the way they do, like from one report station to another. Like you could have added that in, but I would go for that mental institution ending. To be fair, I think that would have looked really good because then you go to the Easter eggs are going, oh, he was in it, he was in it.
No.
So it's the first I've heard it. I never thought to look into the different ending in a book and all that. So there you go. That's me educated. Hearing it, I can definitely see it. And but I didn't know any different for this ending. So, but aye, definitely. But I get what you say there, John. So you like a film wrapped up, kind of a wee bit more than getting left to fucking. Well, what the fuck happened there? Don't be right. See, Sopranos, right? I only watched it for the first time last year, and I get the ending now. But I can imagine watching that thing for 9 years, but 8 or 9 years, and then that happening to me and having the internet to speak at it every day to what the fuck was that? What's going on? You know what I mean?
Yeah, the struggle was real. Fucking, I was walking around like fucking a guy dazed and confused on Omaha Beach. Like, what the fuck is going on?
Looking for your arm, picking up arms and trying them on and all that.
I know. And it was like after you had watched it, I could then give you the theories that all come out, like how stuff like it's been understood now. Whereas back then it was like fucking.
Especially if you were waiting a week for every episode.
Hey, fucking. There's going to be another man. He's going to come out and explain that. What's happening? Maybe it's a two-parter. No, that's it. Done.
Up the road. See you later. Fuck you. Thanks for watching. But I get what you said there, John, about a kind of a 2 or 3 minute run out of the film. We've seen the news reports, seen like the financial fucking crisis, blah blah. Because I watched, see that Twisters, the second one there that was no long out. I didn't like it, but see the last 3-4 minutes of it, that was kind of like that. It showed you how their project worked and tornadoes were getting better, and that was a better fucking 7 minutes than the fucking whole film. So I totally get it.
See what I was going to ask you as well. It's the end of the film, right? Obviously, the narrator shoots himself, right, and Tyler like disappears. So I've always had it in my head that he's now in control of Tyler, and that part of his personality is now part of him, sort of thing. But I've read other theories, and that's Tyler's dead, and the narrator can just go back to living his normal life, sort of thing. But how did you see that Tyler's gone, or is he now part of the narrator for life? Know what I mean?
Well, I couldn't believe that he ate a bullet and didn't die to start with. The more I thought about that, the more annoyed I became, I think. But in the artistic sense of it, I kind of saw it more like Aye, the way you're seeing it, like he got rid of Tyler, but he almost sort of absorbs him in a way.
Aye.
So like he might go back to living his own life the way that he wants to live his life, but he'll do it with the confidence and the freedom that was Tyler, because that's what Tyler was. He was a vision of just everything that the narrator wanted to be. And when you look at the character throughout the whole thing, it's all about confidence. It's all about ego. Do you know what I mean? And that's what half the time that's what mental health is, isn't it? Where you struggle with them. So I saw it as a kind of not a killing, but an absorption. So in a way, they made it like a sci-fi movie. Do you know what I mean? A wee bit like Highlander, where there can be only one narrator.
Aye. It's a good question because of the way the film ends so abruptly. You might not question it at all because you don't know what happens next. You don't know if he has absorbed them, and you don't know if he's turned back into the narrator and just accepting what's going to happen. So, but you're right. I mean, for me, Tyler's a manifestation, suppressed emotions, isn't he? He's just kept in the gut for so long that he's obviously just appeared now when it's all get too much, and he lives out both. But the absorption thing, I'd like to think he's absorbed him back into his psyche, and he can now go forward looking with an open mind, question things like we do now. Do you know what I mean? So, it's a good question. That you're awfully full of good questions today, son.
Oh, I told you I'm a sentient being.
Stop touching yourself, you dirty bastard. Brad Pitt says he didn't want his parents to see the movie, but he couldn't convince them not to watch it. And then they did watch it, and once they did watch it, they said, "Son, I wish we never watched that."
I can understand that because I watched it with Callie last night, and see the first actual Fight Club fight. She was hiding behind her hands. She was like, "Oh my god!" And I was like, "This isn't even violent yet, hen."
I know. The thing about that is, it's because it's so unchoreographed, it looks real, isn't it?
Aye. Well, that's what they said about the punch, isn't it? Like the I want you to hit me as hard as you can. Like there's rumours online that was the director said to Norton. He says, "I want you to hit him, like actually hit him." And Brad Pitt wasn't expecting it apparently, and he just cracks him right in the ear.
Brilliant, man. Aye, it's true. I mean, the two of them have backed up as far as I can tell. Edward Norton says it's true, and Fincher says it's true, and Brad Pitt says, "Yeah, wee bastard, that was fucking slur."
But by the way, if it is true, well acted for the bold Brad Pitt.
Do you know what I thought about at that bit? Having obviously seen all the stuff afterwards, it's dead like that scene in Django when DiCaprio busts his hand open in it.
Aye.
It just keeps going with it until somebody says cut.
Aye. But I wouldn't at it. You can just imagine the director for Tarantino going like, "Keep going, fucking keep rolling." Know what I mean? Because obviously DiCaprio doesn't go, just keeps fucking acting, which is absolutely smashing. Other bits of trivia in here for you folks are that when Tyler catches the narrator listening at the door as he has sex with Marla, he's wearing a rubber glove. This was Brad Pitt's idea and caused a great deal of controversy with the president of production at Fox 2000, Laura Ziskin. She was horrified when she saw the scene and demanded that it be removed. However, at a subsequent test screening, the appearance of the glove got the biggest laugh of the whole movie, prompting Ziskin to change her mind. I never even thought about
that. I remember seeing it and just laughing. Like that's how dirty Marla was that he had to wear marigolds.
Chris, what do you think he was fishing for?
Keys. As serious as that film is, and it pokes at serious things in the world, it's hilarious. But it's like a dark comedy.
Aye. It's caveated with, I think, equal amounts of humour throughout because it's got to keep you up because a lot it's fucking making you down. You know,
that kind of give you 2 hours of absolute seriousness, can it? Like,
no.
Everybody comes out the cinema radicalised. This film do not care.
To be fair,
Aye.
no many people seen it in the cinema. To be like when you compare it to loads of other movies. I'd seen something about that Rosie O'Donnell had a bit to do with that because she spoiled it as soon as she seen it. She didn't like the movie and she went on a talk show or something and say
Aye.
just better that. He turns out to be him.
Aye.
Did she?
Aye,
Aye.
what a cow, yeah.
Who the fuck's listening to Rosie O'Donnell in the first place, right enough? But what a jealous, fat, ugly bastard she
I
is.
think she maybe auditioned for the part of Marla and didn't get it, so she was just a wee bit jealous.
Aye. Fucking hell. Can you imagine Brad Pitt fucking turning up to do a sex scene with that fucking mess? Jesus Christ. I'm sorry, ladies, that are listening to us here, but I don't give a fuck. She's a hot mess.
By the way, look,
There's ladies that listen to this,
Aye.
see the fact that she gave the twist away and all that, right? No, I know there's people out there that go, doesn't matter what film, as they say, oh, I seen the twist coming, right? Did any of you see the twist in this at all?
When I first watched it, nah, you didn't. And it's not until you watch it again where you start to pick up on wee clues. Like the fact that they are never in the same room, him and Marla, do you know what I mean, in the house, like she goes out one door and Brad Pitt comes in another. And then you've got like the guy that brings him a car when they're having a wee bit of a squabble after he's just done Angel Face in. And like the guy looks at Edward Norton's character and he's like, Mr. Durden, like no, after you know what happened, you go back and you pick up on all that kind of wee things. But see, you lay that all out. I think that's just brilliant for Fincher, like the way that he makes it all visible to people once they've seen it. Because, like you say, everybody will always tell you they knew that Kaiser Soze was the guy with the limp. Do you know what I mean? No, they didn't. It's the same with this. There's no way you could have told that they were the same person until the hotel room.
No way, man. Plus, you weren't looking for it, were you?
No.
Because especially, I'm struggling to remember if the first time I seen this, I seen the flashes of Tyler at the start. I don't think I did. Do you know what I mean? Now, the way he cuts in the penis at the end, that's his thing. But he flashes, he appears for like half a second and all. I don't think I noticed that.
No, see, there is a couple of them now that you notice it. Like now that you know that it's there, there's a couple of them wee bits where he flashes in before he's actually like going down that conveyor belt in the airport. There's a couple of them, but again, it's the same. Like they go through, you go through Google and see interesting stuff about it and that. And I'm sure there's one that says that there's a Starbucks cup in every scene. Horse shite. I found myself looking for it yesterday and never seen it. At the start, you see lots. You do see lots, but see, once he comes out of that consumerism, I don't remember seeing them anywhere.
No.
As far as we're led to believe, as movie goers, the first time they meet is perfectly plausible on an aeroplane and just start chatting. So there's no clue to be looking for him to be the same person or that. But like John says, you watch it back, knowing what you know, and then you pick up on it. The clues are there, but they're no in your face.
No.
They're no. You pricks. I knew that for fucking Acts 2. No, I did, you? Aye. You probably knew Bruce Willis was dead in The Sixth Sense and all, didn't you? Of course you did. Aye, fuck.
Well, I was going to mention that. See The Sixth Sense? I did say, he's dead, but I meant it as a laugh. You know what I mean? I was watching the film and went, he is fucking dead. Like, oh, you knew that? No, I didn't. It's fucking... Oh.
It's like when people just sit down and watch a popular TV show now, like that's maybe a thriller or something like that, they're just taking wild guesses. Like they're seeing a character that's only in for 2 minutes of the first episode, and then in the second episode they're going, it was them. You're like, how could it possibly be? You've got no basis for that.
Aye. My dad used to try and ruin Taggart every fucking week, man. Way back in the day, man. He done it. He's a bastard. He's a guy with a glove.
Columbo, was it? Was it no? Columbo always showed you the killer at the start.
That was the most famous person in every episode, wasn't it?
Aye, like, watch that bastard.
Fucking love Columbo, by the way. He's one of my G's.
Him twirling his moustache, he's not to be trusted.
A cracking wee bit of trivia that I found was during the shooting of the film, Helen Bonom-Carter insisted to her makeup artist, Julie Pearce, to apply her makeup with her gommy hon, which to the outside world for Glasgow means she used the hand she doesn't use, you know what I mean, her left hand, so that it looked slap tone and thing, which is fucking great, man. a great wee thing for Bonom-Carter, who I've said on this pod many times I really don't like, but in this film,
preach. I can't stand her.
But I think in this film, she's tremendous.
Aye, she's really good. She's really good. There's a bit towards the end where you can sort of hear her slipping back into her English accent. You know what I mean? Like, quite badly, but obviously they'd been filming for months by that point, so...
Aye. You like her, don't you, Chris?
I don't mind her.
Aye. You don't mind her at all, don't you know?
Oh, no, we offended her.
No. She's not been in something that overly annoys me. You know what I mean? Whereas there is other people in films I go, well, it must be well documented by now. I don't like Ethan Hawke. Other people think he's fucking superb, but I just think his agent is good and gets him in good films.
And I just think Helen Bonham-Carter's fucking guy she was riding at times good and got her into a lot of films, you know what I mean?
She is the pinnacle of it's no what you know, it's who you know, isn't it, for her career? She must be in every Tim Burton movie bar one.
Aye. Jobs for the boys, man, right enough. So,
Plus,
but aye.
I've not read the Harry Potter books, but apparently she was tremendous as, I don't know the character's name, is it Bellatrix or something? Apparently she was smashing at that. So
I've not seen them. I will one day sit down and dare them just so I can say I've seen them, but it's never been my fucking thing. Harry Potter.
Well, it's the royalty of British acting, the Harry Potter films. Say that. Pick up a penguin.
Aye, Rick Mail said it was the best movie he ever done. Wasn't it?
Aye.
Because he wasn't in it. The scenes he get shot for were cut and he get a fucking big giant paycheck. It's his greatest film I've ever done.
Can you like that,
fucking... God rest you, Rick Mail. You're fucking missed, I tell you. Brad Pitt and Helen Bonham-Carter spent 3 days recording orgasmic sounds for their unseen sex scenes. Just imagine them stunning at a dictaphone. Oh dear. Fucking
mate, it's hilarious, man. See the noises Brad Pitt's making. He's walked in, there's a giant spider in the room coming towards him. Fucking what you did?
See, I bet he's going to the point where he's just throwing in absolute terrible noises as a laugh, right? He's like, I wonder if anybody's actually listening to this, or they're just going to take the first couple, and then somebody's took the ones he's put in as a laugh, and they went, "That's it. That's what a guy sounds like."
100%. Just as the closing credits are about to start, obviously a bit of trivia that not a lot of people know. There's a flash frame of a penis at the end, which coincides with the very first fucking way back at the start saying about how Tyler, works as a projectionist but likes to splice in pornographic bits into Disney movies and all that, which is fucking...
I don't know if you have picked up on this bit, right, but I had a wee bit of that's a faux pas there, because when the narrator's saying about that stuff, he says when people sleep, Tyler worked. Right, so it made you think that it was like late night movies or through the night, and then it's a family movie that it has. I don't know too many families that are taking their kids to the cinema at 2 a.m. Do you know what I mean? But if you're taking your kids to the cinema at 2 a.m, you should be expecting to see a big flaccid bobby. Do you know what I mean?
Nice big cock.
Mufasa's no right. I see that wee lass, she's just greeting. I was fucking ending myself, man.
It's good because you get the couples looking at each other as if they've just been flicked a switch on, and they're like, "Oh, hello," and then you get the sheer despair coming for the wee 7-year-old blonde.
The mums and dads are kind of. Was it just me that saw that? Did you see that? I know. You know what I mean? That's funny. What is?
See the more, she looks at the reins and she goes,
"It's bigger than your daddy's."
Oh my god.
Right, we'll get right into some of the best bits in the movie. John, he's a scene or two. What's your best bits?
Oh, right. I seen when he's done Jaws with Tim, and he's all sort of stayed away from the obvious best ones, right? So I'll try and do the same. One of the bits I liked, obviously the movie starts with the narrator in a chair with a gun in his mouth. And when Brad takes it out, he's like, got nothing to say. Then you go through the entire story of how we got there. And then see when he takes the gun out his mouth again, he says, I still have nothing to say. And as Brad Pitt walks past him, he goes like that, wee bit of flashback humour. I like it. I thought that was great. I chortled to myself for the next 2.5 minutes until all the buildings fell in.
Brilliant. I never even thought about that, so there you go. I was today years old. Now you've said it.
There you are. As I said, when you watch it again, you still pick up on bits that you had no idea about. But they even refer to the fact that the whole movie is a flashback.
Aye. There you go.
True.
What are you, Christopher?
For me, it's Lou beating up Tyler because it's just so off the fucking wall, man. Know what I mean? This, I'm guessing, as a mafioso, is some sort. Know what I mean? So the fact that he is so put off violence by beating this guy up that he lets him have his way is just fucking mental. It's just brilliant, man. Laughing while getting battered, and crazy, man.
That's
just
funny,
shows you the depths of how mental this goes.
I've got to say, I love Brad Pitt fake laughing. It doesn't matter if it's that or if it's in Ocean's 12 or whatever, but a Brad Pitt fake laugh just gets me. I just love it.
Aye, it's superb. This is one of the, again, we've said in previous podcasts, Brad Pitt's probably not the greatest actor in the world. He isn't, right? But there's certain roles that he's fucking made for. This is one of them. I'd say Bullet Train's one of them and all, you know what I mean? He plays that character very well, kind of off the cuff, bit of a lad. Snatch and all. It's fucking...
Aye.
The fake laugh, man. Aye. That's tremendous, man. One of the ones I like is it's kind of trivia as well, but it got me at the start. See that John asked me a question, right? He said to me he was interested to ask me a question about watching the Blu-ray. What was the question?
Did you notice anything for the start menu?
Aye. I thought I'd got the wrong fucking disc in the box. So for people that don't know, which I didn't, and John obviously did, when you put the Blu-ray in, the menu comes up, as it does in all films, but it's not the menu for Fight Club. It's Never Been Kissed with Drew Barrymore. And I'm like, yeah, bastard, the wrong fucking disc in this. And then it goes, bzz, 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 and flips back, and then it goes to the normal menu. So the film's not even started, and it got me fucking all pent up. And I thought that was whoever thought of that, genius, man, because it got me. And then there's another reference to Drew Barrymore in the movie as well. There's a couple of magazines lying about with her face on it and all that. So then a Google search afterwards, she gave the go-ahead. She says, aye, that'd be fucking brilliant. On you go. So I like that part of it. And also I'll very quickly say, for the time, there's certain bits of CGI used and camera angles, zooms out and stuff like that, which I thought were kind of perfect for the time. I thought they were done really, really well, man. So aye, I'll say that now. Yeah. Any more? You can say some obvious ones if you want, John.
I like when he's obviously explaining that he's got insomnia and stuff like that. He's going to the groups. And then the whole bit with Bob, the first interaction, I just think is hilarious, man. I had to point out to Callie that was Meatloaf. And once I did, she was in hysterics at what came every time he was on the screen. And see when he cries into his bitch tits and then steps back and sees the remains of his tears on his t-shirt and then has the best night's sleep ever. That for me was tremendous.
Aye. That's so well written, man. So well written. And again, they've took a serious subject, which all these groups are, people dying, death, all that stuff, and made it fucking funny. Chris?
Oh, brilliant, man. Another one for me, again, there's violence in it. It's obviously when the narrator starts beating himself up in his boss's office. It is, again, crazy, mental, but so well done that he's conning his gaffer into having him pine him and funding this wee group of theirs. Know what I mean? Without him having to go anywhere. Brilliant, man. Throwing himself about, battering himself, because it's absolute carnage. You know what I mean? And all the way through it, shouting at the top of his lungs like he's being battered by this guy. It was insane, but also brilliant.
Aye, because at the very end, his narrating line is something like, if I could have picked a best moment for this to have happened, and then the security walk in as he's on his knees and all that. And I'm like, you just see the boss's face. If I'm not even going to try. I'm not even going to try and explain this. That's what I mean. And he's walking out whistling and all that with his wee box full of stuff.
That's how
it's just the fact that when he's climbing up his trousers and that, he grabs hold of his hands, and when you see the view for the door, like as if you're like the third security guard behind the other two, you see the blood all over the hands of the boss. So even that's just a wee clever drop there for you, just to pick up.
Aye, yep. Definitely. Talking about Bob as well, one of the scenes where there's a raid been happening and two come back with Bob's dead body. I didn't remember that. I forgot about that. I didn't know Bob died. I don't know why. It kind of hurt me watching it all night. I was like, fuck, Bob's dead. And then it's treated as being pure matter of fact when that wee prick says, bury him in the garden. You know what I mean? Even, I think I said before Edward Norton said, ho, 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 whoa, you're fucking Bob here, by the way. Bob, you know Bob. We don't have names. His name was Bob. So that fucking kind of got me, man. And again, that took you back to, there's a serious element behind all this, actually.
Right.
Well, I'd see that. That was one of the ones I wrote in as well, because I took the other side away from it as well, that how far gone these guys are. That when he starts calling him Robert Paulson, like that, or is after you die, you become somebody else.
Aye.
And you all start chanting, you're going, this is a fucking cult.
Aye, because obviously it's no long after that, Tyler kind of disappears and he goes looking for him, starts plane hopping from city to city, which is great in itself, by the way. And then he hears the guys in the kitchen saying that. He was Robert Paulson. It's like, for fuck's sake, man. Great.
Me and my older brother used to do that as a joke. See, it was something, whatever it was something like, no, you should be doing this. This is how you do this. So we used to just go, his name is Robert Paulson. Like, fuck you, stop a bit.
Any other ones?
I've got to love when the narrator batters the absolute living snot out of Angel Face. For me, it's the most graphic bit in the whole movie. And the thing is see if you've seen that out in the street or on a TV show or anything, you'd think the guy that done it is an absolute piece of shit, an absolute asshole. There's nothing that could have justified doing that. But they set the movie in such a way that you wanted the narrator to batter him, all because Angel Face seemed to be Tyler's wee precious thing. And that's all it was. It was just a bit of jealousy. But you're like, fucking hit him again. It wasn't just even the fight itself. It was everything that they'd built it up to be. Like, they gave you the backstory that this was a wee sneaky bugger to watch. And then he gets his comeuppance, and his comeuppance happens to be a whole broken face.
Yeah. That's for Mobius, you bastard.
Totally right.
Mobius.
And then it takes you out yourself when you know, obviously, the end of the film, because how must Angel Face have felt being like taken into the bosom of the top kiddie and then fucking Laird? He'd have been, do you know what I mean? I'm your favourite.
Even take it to the start of their fight, he'd have, like, they obviously all pick who they want to fight and stuff like that at times, and to be picked by Tyler Durden, head of the operation, that's the one guy you would want if you're out of everybody in your circle that you're going to want to fight. If he's chose to fight you, and like fighting is this great thing to them, like it's a reward almost, like they get a sense of euphoria for it. To then get absolutely probably that close to dying.
Yeah.
It's some roller coaster.
Plus, I think it's the whole thing as well. It's like another message to everybody else. Like I use all think he's my wee favourite, but
Aye.
look what I'm done to him. This is bigger than all you sort of thing. And there's
Aye.
no one favourite.
Aye, that's like when Clement eventually dropped Tavernier. See? See? Fucking, there's nobody safe in this team, boys. Let me tell you. For me, I'll say the whole opening act of the narrator narrating and just getting you right up to fucking speed with who he is, where he is, what his life is, what his job is, how he's a fucking slave to QVC, and then he starts going to the groups. It's great. It's brilliant. It's engaging, and it's more entertaining than I remember it being anyway. It's just Edward Norton. A lot of people don't like Edward Norton. I don't think he's in enough things anymore, really. I think he's a great actor. I've never seen him dial it in. He's been good in whatever he's been in, even kind of wee shitty films like the remake of The Italian Job and all that. He was great in that. And he's a fabulous actor. So I thought that whole opening act was great. Absolutely great.
But that's what I was going to say. See this film, this is why the films I go, Edward Norton. Like, this is why the ones I remember him for. This and American History X. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Because he's brilliant in both of them. And even seeing the first, is it Primal Fear? He plays a wee guy with a split personality. That's fucking, he's smashing it. But again, I like Edward Norton.
Aye.
He plays himself in the Birdman film. You know what I mean? Where he's trying to critique the play and all that, and apparently that's what he does behind the scenes in films. You know what I mean? But I reckon Fincher went like that. No, listen, son, you're here to act. Fuck up.
Because apparently he's not the easiest guy to work with, which is probably why he's maybe not got as many roles as he wanted or he's getting at the moment. But he's tremendous. I just like that whole opening gambit. And I just thought it was fucking hilarious how he eventually pulls Marla. Says, you're a hitchhiker. What you doing here? He's pulling her up for being him. Do you know what I mean? It's fucking great.
I even like how that whole bit goes on and then they're negotiating which groups that they can go to. Do you know? Like they're having a wee it's so serious, these groups. Do you know what I mean? It's all about morbid stuff and how hurt people are that go to them and everything. It's all about grief essentially. And here they are, they're bargaining with each other about who can do what. And it's stuff like, no, you've got both the parasites, you can't have both the parasites.
No. Come on, that's mine. I was there first. No, that's tremendous. And they're just trading it off like fucking co-parenting or something. Right. I don't know. It's fucking great.
See that whole thing, the narrator character going to the meetings, what is it you think that he gets for that? Know what I mean? Like, know how he's an insomniac and he can't sleep. What do you think it is he gets for the meetings that helps him? Something like that, is it just you feeding off people's grief? What is it? Well, know what I mean?
Well, it's a real thing, innit? Let's be honest, there's a real thing where people go to AA meetings and fucking what do you call it, grief counselling and stuff like that. There's professional mourners out there. People just spend every day going to funerals just to greet. So I don't know. He probably gets the fact that his own emotions are suppressed. He obviously doesn't know that with regards to Tyler, but he's letting something out. And maybe it is a bit of morbid that there's people out there worse off than him and all. I don't know. What do you think?
I think it's all about that first night that he cried and he managed to have a good sleep. He obviously thought that was a cure for his insomnia. So then I'd say it's made to go with kind of addictive personality, because as you look at the fight clubs and how they evolve and everything like that, it's more and more, it's excess, and then it all culminates with again like going from Fight Club to Project Mayhem and blowing up the world. So I think it's for me it's about addiction, which is funny because he's at like AA and things like that, but no for AA.
I was wondering because I was like, just what's the release valve? Know what I mean? Is it just the fact I don't know, letting go in the world, accepting death or something. I don't know. So I asked the question, but he's gave good answers there. Good answers to good
Thank you,
questions.
sir.
Do you know what?
Could be sentient beings.
Don't know about that.
There is no wrong answer to that question, son. That's what's good about it. And we know Marla's just there for fucking free coffee and donuts, as she says herself, which is smashing.
Which is a good pull as well, isn't it? Because it was all Krispy Kremes, half of them, wasn't it?
Oh, aye. Fucking best idea there, man. You don't get charged £4 a donut in America for a Krispy Kreme, I tell you.
See, I've got all sorts of questions for this, lads. All sorts. You know when he's in the house and he's talking about all these books that somebody has wrote, and they call themselves like Jack's Left Foot, Jack's Rage, and all that. Do you think it's him that's wrote them? And then he then starts adopting that when he's talking about things? Which means how long has he been in that house if it was him that wrote it?
I thought they were for like Reader's Digest entries and stuff like that. Like, it was for a magazine, was it not?
I think there was a big anthology.
It was journals, wasn't
there? That's what I'm talking like. I am Jack's fucking left foot. I am Jeanette's nipple and all that. And he says there's like a whole fucking anthology. He's not having something like that. Is it him that's wrote it? And then as the film starts going on, he starts going, I am Jack's bruised ego and all that. And I'm going, did he start adopting that? Or is that like a foreshadow that he had already wrote the books?
I think you could argue that he definitely did write them. Because the whole movie is about him creating another persona with Tyler Durden. So what's to say, didn't he, another part of his brain just went like that, I'm going to be Jack, and then just started writing personal stuff about Jack. I mean, there's nothing to have stopped him being Jeanette either. Because like, he's that disassociated for his own mind at times that he could be absolutely anybody he wants. And like you see when he's going from city to city, he doesn't know what actually happens while he's the other person. So when he's if he was Jack, then while he's Jack, he could have wrote them all and had no idea about them. And that's why when he's him, he finds them so mysterious and entertaining.
Aye. No, well, now that you've said it, I'm saying 100% that is him. That is him. He's off time when he's been unconsciously somebody else. He's set up that house. He's went there. He's learnt about. He's obviously fucking making and selling the soap and all himself, and he just doesn't know it. And then that would obviously explain the funding that he's got that he doesn't know about. That's fucking buying for the house and buying beds and all that kind of shit. You know what I mean? So,
well, I think when he first goes to the house as well, does he not say that he asked Tyler how long he'd been there, and he said a year?
Aye.
So, like, does he sort of hint to himself like, I've actually been here for a year, and fucking when you've not got any telly or anything like that, writing's maybe something that you would do about your bottom left limb. But
it wasn't until I watched it for this, I was like, I kind of thought, because I just took it that that was somebody else that lived in that house and they wrote them all down. And then as the film starts going on, he starts saying it himself, and I'm going, has he been there as Tyler, who has said he's been there a year? And while he's been there, he's then became Jack and wrote the other things. Know what I mean?
I like that. That's a thinking man's question, that.
Did you get these online or something,
You're sentient today.
Aye, tell you, mate. It's crystals. Crystals.
That's fucking great. See, I'll say one last thing. The light bulb moment for him in the movie oh fuck, I'm or him. So obviously Marla says what you're talking about, Tyler, and then he starts having the flashbacks every time he's been with Tyler. They beating himself up in the car park for the very first time when the guys walk out and see it. Tremendous. The bit on the black and white CCTV security camera where Tyler's dragging him away by the neck, and then it just shows you him getting dragged away by nobody. I'm like, that's fucking brilliant, man. Excellent.
Yeah, watching that, but I was like, how did they do that? But did they like put a wee set of like mechanic wheels underneath them and pull it or something like that? Because like nobody can move like that without assistance, surely.
Aye. I think the only person that's get close to it is Jim Carrey when he's getting beating himself up in fucking Me, Myself and Irene, and he gets himself up off the ground or that when he's unconscious. It's because he did do that, obviously, but that's brilliant. But it's great scenes, man. Light bulb moment. I can only imagine how people felt seeing it in the cinema. The ones that did go. I remember how I felt when I first seen it. I was like, fucking hell, man. It was.
Aye. The reveal is tremendous. And then, as like we've already said, see after you know that they're the same person, and you go back and watch the film and you see wee bits here and there, you go, oh, you dirty bastard.
Because you answer your own questions, because when the light bulb moment comes on, you're like, but what about that bit? And what about then? And then how did that happen? And then you watch it back, and as you've pointed out, and John pointed out earlier, fuck. Aye.
Yep.
Aye.
Superb, man. Well, I see another thing that I noticed as well. I don't know if you might have noticed. See, as the film goes on, it just seems that Edward Norton's character is like decaying while the Tyler character gets stronger. You know, because he starts like after every fight night, he's always bruised, battered, cuts, bleeding, fucking, and the big black sags under the eyes come back, and he looks grey, malnourished. Whereas Tyler starts fucking the pecs are out. Know what I mean? He's golden brown. He's wearing fur jackets and all that. You're going, hold on now.
See, to be fair, see if you were built like Brad Pitt, I wouldn't wear any clothes.
No. Same.
And I think he was 35 in that movie, so that was 7 years ago for me. And I wasn't like that when I was 35 either. I'm still not like that now, so that's no coming for me, unfortunately. But no, I definitely noticed that. And then see, when Tyler does disappear, you notice that Edward Norton's in the bed recovering for the car crash. Yet Tyler was in the exact same car crash, and he's away, as you said, city hopping doing America.
I was just something I picked up because it was like, at first I'm going, but he's golden brown at parts of the film. You're going, how the fuck? And he looks like a fucking vampire. Know what I mean? You're going, what's going on?
Well, hang brown about Edward Norton's his fucking shirt, man.
Aye, it's definitely, it's probably a physical representation of what's going on mentally for him, that he's so drained, yet, as you say, Tyler's stronger and stronger, and he looks ever more like what Edward Norton probably wants to look like.
Yeah.
Especially, as you say, towards the end when they have their second fight, and by that time Tyler's got the skin heat, the fur jacket on. When he jumps and lands, the camera makes a point of showing you his brand new, sparkling, shiny brogue shoes. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, hey, fuck you. But that's great. Absolutely brilliant. Any other favourite scenes, chaps?
I will say, see when Tyler's down at a fight club and he starts describing how capitalism is fucking practically neutered the population on it, I think that's just fucking... just the monologue and the writing in it is just tremendous. Because we said it at the beginning. We all sat and went inward and went, I don't need the next iPhone, you know what I mean? Fuck them, I'm not doing that. I put my laptop away. You know what I mean? And you just sit and go, you're out there fucking working jobs that you fucking hate to buy shit you don't need because you've been told you need to get it. You know what I mean? And it was just a light bulb moment for everybody, I think.
Aye, I've got that monologue down as one of my favourite quotes, actually. But
aye, I think the fact that it was a monologue as well makes the message come across even better. The fact that there's no like, other voices or somebody else acting in that, and it's just him delivering the message, that it just hits a lot heavier than what it would if it was just like a conversation with somebody.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and even though there's a big drop, there's all the actors running about him when he's saying this. You look by him and you see all them. They're looking at him like he's the next coming of Jesus Christ and all that. They're just so fucking, as you said, Chris, it's a bit culty. And they look absolutely, you know what I mean, brainwashed into this is, do you know what I mean? He's the fucking Messiah. So it's a great scene, a great monologue. And poignant as well, because it makes you as a moviegoer, like we've said, think about what's going on in real life. And don't think it's for changing anytime soon, to be honest with you, which is a fucking bit sad. Anything else, John, you want to talk about scene-wise?
Well, one that It's funny because, as I say, I watched the movie with Callie last night, and it's not her type of movie whatsoever. So anything that she reacted to, I was thinking, oh, well, you're getting first look at this the way that I did, like all the years ago, and see what after one of Marla and Tyler's sessions, and they fall back onto the bed, and she gives it the whole, I haven't been fucked like that since grade school. Like, that's an outlandish thing to say. Right? And if you go online, you'll see that wasn't actually the original line that they wanted to have there. Like, apparently, what she says the first time is, I want to have your abortion. And you're like, fuck me. But they changed it to the haven't been fucked since grade school. And apparently, all the producers and the studio and whatever said, no, like, that's wild, you need to take that out. But they'd also fought against the abortion line, and that's when they came up with it, haven't been fucked since grade school. And Fincher decided to keep the more offensive one in.
Yeah.
No, I mean, I think it's 50-50 for which one's the more offensive one there, but I still think that just sums up everything about Fight Club, because, like, apparently, what did you call him? Ferraniuk? Is that what we're calling the author?
Aye.
Apparently, he wrote Fight Club because his other novel got knocked back by the company that he was writing for, because they thought it was too graphic, and he wrote this one. So this became his second novel instead of what he'd actually originally intended. And it's obviously stepping on toes and waking up people to ideas that they maybe don't want to think about. But I just feel like there's a lot of stuff in the movie where they've dared to push the boundary, and people that weren't comfortable with it have said, no, you can't, and then they do it anyway, which essentially is like a strong message in the movie itself. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, man. Definitely, you're right. And either one of the two things is something you would totally expect to come out of Marla's mouth anyway.
You're no surprised that she says it, but it's still fucking wild when you hear it.
Aye. I can just imagine her saying it for the first time if they didn't know what she was going to say and pissing herself laughing, because what the fuck you just saying? Imagine saying that in America, the abortion one. Oh, for fuck's sake.
You see all the outtakes of comedy movies with, like, Will Ferrell and Kevin Hart and all that, say, like, coming up with improv lines and people laughing, but I bet she's just rolled back onto the bed and said the most obscene things that she can think of. And the guys that are all working, like the cameramen and the sound engineers, they're all just stood there as if, well, we just witnessed.
That's great.
Because see, to add to that as well, apparently, Helen Bonom-Carter didn't know what grad school was.
She would have been. She probably think it was after uni, because obviously we do postgrad and all that here. So he thought it was, I hadn't been fucked like that since I was 23.
It's not, I mean,
it's grade school, primary school in America, right?
Aye, pretty much.
Aye. So no, there you go. That is, you're like, who fucked her? Wasn't it a primary? Boy, it must have been fucking abused by a teacher or something like that. You know what I mean?
Oh fuck! It's so wild, and the fact that it was fucking the abortion line, and they went, "Oh, you can't put that in," so they wrote something the equivalent as bad as it. Know what I mean?
Aye.
There's your two choices.
Aye.
And that's your only two choices. Otherwise, we're not doing the movie.
Exactly.
Know what I mean?
Well, apart from that one, Chris, gives a line or two that you found quite titillating.
Oh, well, for me, just see his name is Robert Paulson, see, because of the attachment we had. That's one of my favourite ones. Without saying the obvious one, know what I mean? But aye, his name is Robert Paulson just fucking tickles me. I mean, because I've got that memory attached to it, that me and my brother used to say that all the time, when it was like, no, you put the forks in where the forks go. His name is Robert Paulson.
Who ate the last biscuit? His name is Robert Paulson.
But see that, and it's just the fact that it's supposed to be a hard hitting scene, like, oh, there's innocent Bob deed, and then there's all these fucking nut jobs are all still, aye, you transcend after death. You know what I mean? You're nameless now, but you transcend, and just the fact that I've got it connected to something so fucking stupid is still my favourite line, man.
Aye, it's great. And By the way, that means absolutely nothing to nobody if you've not seen this film. It just sounds, what the fuck does that mean? But in the time of the film, and then obviously you've got nostalgia attached to it, that's fucking hilarious. I think I'm going to say that the next time I get questioned at work or not. Fucking aye.
What you need is a guy for a wee plaster there to just nod at you and know that that's all right. That's fine.
Aye. You get the favourite lines in it, John?
Aye. So, I mean, as soon as you mention Fight Club, everybody says you don't talk about Fight Club because of the rules. But see, when Bob runs into Cornelius after the narrator's just left Marla's bit, and he's like, he's still going to groups. He's like, no, I find something better. He's like, oh, great, what is it? He's like, well, the first rule is I'm not supposed to talk about it. Right? And straight away you're like, that's brilliant. And then he goes, and the second rule is I'm not supposed to talk about it. He's like, I'm a member. It's all right, I'm a member. I thought that was great.
Aye, it was fucking great, really. Meatloaf's good in it, by the way. He's been in a few things, that's what he has, but I think, I know it shouldn't be, but I think the most uncomfortable thing in this film for me is his tits, man. It's not the faces exploding or the bullet going off in somebody's head and all that. It's just
it's a challenging wank.
He's got nipples and all, man. Oh, no, I can't watch that.
The worst part is there was no fat suits or prosthetics used in that.
But I won't do that. Fuck's sake.
I wondered how long it was going to be before that gets said.
John set me up there. They set me up. As I said at the start, right, I didn't realise just how quotable this film was. There's some fucking hard-hitting good quotes in it, like the things you own end up owning you. Brilliant.
That was one of mine, I know. Because again, it's subtle and it's fucking very true. Especially when it comes to mobile phones these days. It's fucking people can't go and take a shit without taking a phone with them.
Aye.
It's mental.
I feel like that's an attack.
Aye. But you're right, mate. I mean, Christ, we live in a world now where me and you and Paul in the work the other day were talking about pillows, you getting new pillows, and then you turn on TikTok shop, there's a guy punting pillows at you. You know what I mean?
Everything's in your face. Buy this, you need this, blah, 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 blah.
Well, your microphone's always on, telling you, man.
Aye, know what I mean? Aye, that's how I laugh when people go like that. The government, they're going to put tracker in us. I mean, they're going to track everywhere we go like that. You're fucking carrying a phone.
Aye. Great. He's another one, John.
Hey, I liked the other it was a wee short monologue. He's talking about we're not your job, we're not the car you drive, we're not your fucking khakis. Mm-hmm. Like I liked the whole wee spiel, but even the way it was shot, like see with like the blurred vision and everything like that. That was almost like the point that you knew, like they mean business. Like they're wakening you up whether you want it or not.
Aye. And after it's all been said, it kind of caveats at the end by him turning it on you to look inward, because is it right after that it says this is your life and it's ending 1 minute at a time. You know what I mean?
Aye.
Oh, motherfucker!
It's like it's addressing you at this point now. Like, wait the fuck up. We're no the bad guys say the far away land, you know what I mean? We're everybody with people that live among you. And you're like, oh, that's
true. What about you, Chris? He's an R.
One of mine's, again, because it sounds so sinister, and it's just you can swallow a pint of blood before you feel sick. That's quite graphic, that.
Aye, that is graphic, but you end up pissing yourself because when he says that as a narrator, he looks at his colleague and smiles, and he's got a fucking mouthful of blood, doesn't he? You're like, oh, fucking hell, man. Zombie.
Somebody knows that as well. Like, who found that out?
Aye.
Did they sit in a room and everybody had a different amount of blood to drink before? Like, here, you take a Coke can size, you have a pint, I'll have a gallon.
Aye.
It's not right, man. Just there's so many. things unsaid about that makes you just your mind wander. Like you just said, how would you know that?
Mm.
And how often has that happened to this character that he knows he can swallow a pint of blood before he feels sick? Just wild.
And did the study start by saying, we asked 1 in 100 people to try a fucking different measure of blood? It's mental, man. The big monologue, I'm not going to try and do it in an American accent or like Brad Pitt, but as you said earlier, Chris, it's fucking tremendous and it hooks you in. And Tyler Durden just says, man, the men I see in Fight Club are the strongest and the smartest men who have ever lived. I see all this potential and I see squandering. God damn it, on an entire generation, pumping gas, waiting tables, slaves with white collars, advertising has us chasing cars and clothes, working jobs we hate so we can buy shit we don't need. We're the middle children of history, man. No purpose or place. We have no great war, no great depression. Our great war's a spiritual war. Our Great Depression is our lives. We've all been raised on television to believe that one day we'd all be millionaires and movie gods and rock stars, but we won't. And we're slowly learning that fact, and we're very, very pissed off. Brilliant. That's a manifesto to be fucking proud of, by the way.
And again, it's something that you can take all of it, or you can take bits of it, and you can plonk it straight into 2025. And it's still as relevant today as it was then.
100%. Again,
I can remember watching Entourage when I was younger, the TV show off HBO with Jeremy Piven, and thinking, man, that is what I want my life to be. And it just never happens. Brad Pitt was right. You don't become millionaires for nothing.
No. You don't call your best pals baby. You know what I mean? Hey, baby. How you doing, baby?
But it's very true, isn't it? It's the impossible dream that everybody gets sold. And again, look, they put it into new times. See the influencers. There's people sitting in a house with fuck all, or watching influencers that are on yachts and having fucking dozy times now, and they sit there and get depressed about their own life because they've not got that life, and that's fake. You know what I mean? So to chase that life, they go and get shit they don't need. It's so real at this time. It's mental.
Everything in public persona's fake. Even your own holiday snaps are fucking fake, because all you see in a holiday snap is everybody enjoying themselves, having a good time, smiling, and I wish you were here. When in actual fact, in between every single photo, there was fucking arguing, screaming, ungrateful wee bastard, and all that. Sit still and smile. You know what I mean?
Having to walk half an hour up the strip, having to carry one of the wains.
Telling you, it's real. Even getting in the car's a fucking stress fest, man. But it's brilliant, absolutely brilliant. I can't say enough about the writing of this film. I've never appreciated it more than I do now, watching this and studying for it. Reviewing it for this. Any other good lines, guys?
Test tomorrow, man. I like some of the lines. It's only after we have lost everything we're free to do whatever we want. Again, fucking the truth shall set you free, sort of thing. You know what I mean? Like that. Does, because you wake up the morning, you're no fucking paying off whatever, your new bed, your phone, your telly, whatever. No bills. You can go and frolic in the fucking long grass. You know what I mean? And again, it's true.
Are you old enough to have frolicked anywhere?
There's no long grass on about here, it's concrete.
I just shouldn't have thought of fucking Maximus there in Gladiator. Just every time somebody says long grass, do you know what I mean? Fucking think of Elysium. That's a great line. That is a great line. And it doesn't even transcend into material things or money things. It can be a relationship as well. Once you start having to second guess the other person and all that, it's only about you, and you're sometimes a bit fucking overwhelming because you've no thought about yourself in that way in a long time, but there's a sense of freedom with that as well. And if you're not tied to a job or you've no paying off the car anymore, then it's a great line, mate. It's a great line. Any more, John?
I think he's taking all the best ones. don't have much access to my notes now, but I there's so much that if you wanted to overthink all the messages in this movie, you could probably put yourself either into a deep depression or you could become the next Elon Musk. It just depends on you personally and what your mindset is. But it's they should probably have college courses and all that on movies like this. That's how strong it is in terms of its influence for me.
I don't disagree, mate. I don't disagree. The one thing we always kind of look at with films when we're doing these is it aged well? And I think we've already fucking summed that up, that it's as poignant, if not more so today, than it was quarter of a century ago.
Aye. It's getting too real, man.
Aye. Pure 1984 vibes, man. Do you know what I mean? But as a movie, it's no hindered by the time it was shot or anything like that. It's still as relevant today as it was. It doesn't look out of place. It's shot beautifully, man. It really is.
Aye. But saying that, apparently it could have been a different director doing the film. Initially, the studio wanted Peter Jackson to do it, but he couldn't do it. He was doing Frighteners, I think, at the time.
Right.
And then Fincher was going to knock them back because he didn't like the studio. Because I think his first film was Alien 3. And they had apparently a torrid time with the studio era that he wasn't allowed to work with them again. But fortunately, he done it.
Well, as John said earlier, Stanley Kubrick died. As soon as he said that, I thought, you're right. This is probably right up his fucking street. And if he was still alive, he might have fucking seen this wee novel and tried to do it himself. Because, aye, definitely.
Did you know some of the other actors that were rumoured to be asked to portray the narrator in Tyler Durden?
No, mate.
No.
So apparently Matt Damon was who the studio wanted. They wanted him for the narrator. And I think they wanted Russell Crowe to be involved in it as well. And Marla was going to be Courtney Love.
Oh.
I think Sean Penn was maybe looked at as well, according to some places online. But I think this is one of the movies where you can't see anybody doing the role other than who did. And as much as I don't like Helena Bonham-Carter, this for me is by far and away her best performance. And I know that Edward Norton apparently turned to Brad Pitt after it was debuted at Cannes. And the crowd were like fucking looking at each other as if, what the hell was this? And I think some people even booed. And Edward Norton apparently said to Brad Pitt, he's like, "This is the best movie I've ever been in."
Aye. I watched that interview because I was watching the Fincher one as well, and he says, as I'm sitting there, we're talking about the collective audience age would have been about 73. And he says, this young woman looked at me and just narrowed her eyes at me, and he says, "We didn't make it for you." It's fucking brilliant, man.
I'll need to watch them, man, because I think that'd be quite funny. Couple of lines as well. Well, one line anyway. The one you mentioned earlier on is, was it, "You're not your job. You're not how much money you have in the bank. You're not the car you drive. You're not the contents of your wallet. You're not fucking khakis." You're not your fucking khakis. You're the all singing, all dancing crap of the world. He's just chastising the group, isn't he, man?
Aye. Man, winding them down to nothing, know what I mean? Because essentially they are nothing, and they need to be nothing for the future plan.
That's how you control people.
That's what a great leader does, isn't it? Or dictator.
I think that's how mental this is as well. Like how smart it is as well. Like how it goes for guys that are disgruntled with their life, just want to go to a club to vent. Know what I mean? Just punch something so they can go back to functioning in normal life, and then how they just become more and more radicalized. to essentially be anarchists, terrorists, know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And it's just how quick it can slide, know what I mean? If you've got an ideal, you can put in people's heads and just push it, know what I mean? Or just carry on itself. Like, there's essentially, Tyler started this, but he says himself, this is bigger than me, this is bigger than us. This will carry on when we're no here, sort of thing. It's just mental.
Aye. That's it. Well, we've seen it throughout history. If a dictator can latch on to a growing fucking narrative and then spin it the way he wants, all hell can fucking break loose, you know what I mean? But is there anything in this film that you didn't like?
Mm-hmm.
Even just a little scene or a thing? I only ask that because the bit I don't know why, I just don't like it. See the bit the recruiting and there's people standing on the porch for 3 days.
Aye.
No, that just seems like a wee, I don't know. I just didn't like it. I can't explain it. Just get off this porch. You're fucking useless. You're a maggot and all that. Did they do that? Oil him? Oil him?
If it was left to just the first guy, it'd be fine. But see the fact that they put Bob in as the second guy, and then like they chastise him the first time, and that's it. He quits and he goes away. But then the narrator goes down the steps and drags him back and tells him, "Listen, this is just what you need to do to get in. You need to stay here for 3 days, and then we'll let you in." I think that helps still show like the difference between the narrator and Tyler Durden.
Aye, no, you're right. You're right. Obviously, at that point, he doesn't know he's fucking Tyler, but Meatloaf must know he's the same person that's just shouted in his face, then ran down the stairs and says, come on back, stone here for fucking another couple of days, you're all right, big man. So it's just...
Aye, there's definitely things that, because you're dealing with the idea of split personality and he's both these characters, I think if you went through the film with a fine-tooth comb, you'd definitely be able to find flaws and faults and everything. Mm. For me, the one bit that I'm not happy with is the fact that he shoots himself in the fucking face and doesn't die. Do you know what I mean? I don't care how good a shot he is. He's not hitting that part of his brain that has created Tyler Durden and leaving the rest of himself unscathed.
Mm.
Like, for me, that's probably the biggest, but maybe the only nitpick I'm going to have at any scenes or things like that.
Mm. You get any, Chris?
Because even his wee guys say, I can't believe he's still standing. You know what I mean? He's a tough motherfucker.
Aye, this wee scrawny £100 guy for that fucking condo in the city.
Aye. I mean, nah. I think everything's there that has to be, and changing anything, I think, would fuck it.
Mm-hmm.
I know you were saying about the recruits showing up at the front door, but I think that was more to show if these guys are really all about it, sort of thing. Are they gonna stick by this? This is like the final test, sort of thing. So that's how I just viewed that. But for the most part, maybe like what John said earlier, the ending kind of showed you the kind of aftermath of what happened after the financial district's been blown up, know what I mean? But really, anything that's no said, I think it's left open for you to work out yourself, sort of thing. So, I don't think I would change anything.
No, fair enough. As I say, it's just a personal. I know it's got a place in the film. I just fucking kind of, fuck's sake, what are you doing this bit for? Just be blaring me. I don't know. It's fucking mental. Anything else you'd like to say about the movie, guys?
And I will say this. I hope somebody did take Chloe and give her a one last good shafting before the end, because the last it was more than accommodating.
I think the guy that they cut to in the rose, I think as soon as she says that, I think he's the one that goes for it. I think they've left that open to your interpretation, but I think he's definitely seen it.
Because even that fucking you just don't expect that to come out of her mouth. and it's like desperation and sad at the same time, but it's funny.
The fact that she goes closer to the microphone, she's like, I know things.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
For the guys in the back.
Nah. That's the last thing I want. I want to Chloe to get a wee shout out there. Because it tickled me. First time it tickled me. I have dildos and lubricants. It's just, get away from there, you dirty bastard.
So Tyler's got marigolds. Fuck you. John, what you giving this film out of 10, mate?
If you'd asked me 20 years ago, I'd have probably gave it a strong 9.9. Watching it again last night, it's dropped a wee bit. I'd say I'm an 8.5 for Fight Club. I still loved it watching it, and as I said, I picked up new bits that I hadn't noticed before. And there's a lot of stuff that, as we say, it still holds strong today. Personally, I think it's a wee touch too long, but I think I would still give it an 8.5 because I'd still watch it again, and I know that I would find something else that I've not seen the next time that I watch it. But I think Callie was a good basis for it because this wasn't her type of movie whatsoever. And she's not the best when it comes to watching movies, but she sat and watched the whole thing. And I think if it can hold a beginner, shall we say, like that, then there's definitely something about it. And even just for the reaction itself at the reveal, she was like, "Oh my fucking god!" And I was like, "It's got you now, hasn't it?"
Aye.
But aye.
Oh, by the way, shout out happy birthday to Carly as well. Understand it was yesterday or tomorrow?
It's tomorrow. It's tomorrow. I'll make sure and tell her. I'll maybe get her some marigolds.
Yeah, she's definitely going to listen to this back, is she? No, you don't want to listen to it, Hen. Honest. No, you'll not like it.
No, just boy chat.
Chris, what'd you get out of 10, mate?
I'm the same. I'll get an 8. Just the fact that it still stands up, and as time goes on, it seems to be more fucking on the button than you would have thought. So, aye, an 8 for me. But solid film, well written, quotable at nobody's business, uber violent, and just gives you a glimpse at the human psyche. You know what I mean? How fucking so many people are fed up with certain things that a movement can happen.
Aye, no, totally fair. Again, I'm the same. I'm an 8 as well. I've got a funny feeling that after I'm going to watch it back with as I said to Chris before this, I'm going to watch it back with the commentary with Norton, Pitt, and Fincher, and I think that might open your eyes to a couple of bits in it that I've not realised. So I think that'll be good. But I definitely an 8. It's a film you could release the new. I think it might be better received than it was maybe.
I think cinema and box office wise, it would get more people going to see it, and it'd get a wider audience definitely than what it was aimed at back then.
Because apparently they marketed it all very wrong as well. They marketed it like it was on UFC and wrestling ads and all that shit. You know what I mean? So it wasn't marketed to the right section of the public. But hey,
I'd love to say I can remember fucking 1999 for the most part, but I know I definitely didn't go to the pictures to see it. I don't even remember seeing the posters or the billboards outside the Odeon or the ABC or anything like that when I was going to the pictures.
I got to see it in the cinema because they re-released it through the Odeon.
Right.
The Odeon did a series when they re-released what they called cult classics. So this was on it, and The Goonies was on it. So I went to see this in the cinema maybe 10 years after it got released, and it was myself and the lassie I was with at the time, and then one other person in the whole cinema.
In the whole theatre?
Aye.
For sake, man. Jesus Christ. I've got the feeling that I remember it being kind of portrayed as a kind of indie film. Do you know what I mean? I don't know why when I had Brad Pitt in it, for fuck's sake, but
and he was getting paid $18 million to be in it. No much indie about that.
No. But when I seen the budget was 63 million, I was like, oh, fuck. It just wasn't marketed or put out there. Or maybe the studios and the theatres just were like, nah, as well. Do you know what I mean? There's a lot of that going about. But 3/8, 8.5 from us, ladies and gentlemen. We hope you enjoyed the review of Fight Club 1999. Certainly enjoyed watching it again. I'm sure we all did. You can catch us on. Well, you'll be listening to this at the time, so you're catching us on whatever you're listening to us on. But if you want to listen to us on something else, we are on everything, and as well as our YouTube channel. If you want to see John's wee pretty face, put a voice to the face. That's what you do. Listen to it, right, and then go and watch us on the YouTube channel, and get the hankies out and the curtains drawn. You know what I'm saying? But
sentient being everywhere.
aye, sentientism all the curtains. But just listen, John, thanks very much for coming on, mate. Been an absolute pleasure. A great guest. You've had some great insights, great answers, great chat, and it was a brilliant film, mate. So thank you.
No, thanks for having us on. It was great to go back and watch it, and as I say, pick up stuff that I hadn't even seen the first couple of times around, and to talk about it with guys that equally liked it. Because, like I say, I've not got that in the house, shall we say. She doesn't even watch anything. I can't even get her watching Moana. Do you know what I mean?
Aye.
But no, it was great. It was a wee trip down memory lane. I fairly enjoyed it, lads. Thank you very much for having us.
Excellent.
Before you go anyway, John, you're head for picking movie bingo.
All right. Who's list?
What was the last one?
Craig's.
Was it my list?
I was Young Guns. Aye.
Oh, right, okay. Let me get my list up first, John. Where can I find the fucking
thing? Movie bingo.
Movie bingo, movie bingo, movie bingo, yeah!
You should definitely just jingle that.
I know. Do you know, I just bought a guitar last week. I need to strip it up, and fix it first, and then I'm going to fucking record, man. Fuck it. Right, John, it's 1 to 50. There's a few away, but I'm not going to bore you with all the numbers. Go. If it's there, it's there. If it's no, it's no. I'll let you know.
Right, I'll go with my age. Right, we'll go 42.
42. Oh no! We're Brad Pitt again, boys. We're Brad Pitt again next week.
Oh yeah, dancer.
And it's the movie 7.
Oh,
that's Fincher, I know, is it not?
Aye. So it is.
Oh,
fucking hell.
Dear. What's in the box?
The bag.
I can't wait to hear the Morgan Freeman impressions.
I can smell you.
What? Andy Dufresne was my best friend.
Andy Dufresne was raped that day.
I'd like to say that Andy fought the good fight. I wish I could say that. But I look forward to that. Not seen that. And I went to see that 2 years ago, just like you, John. Was it last year? They re-released that in Cineworld. I went to see it.
I'm sure I've seen that.
So
I was actually going to watch that because we watched this. So there you go.
A fine film. And
tell you what, boys, I'll just set them up and use knock them out the park, right?
Brilliant, mate. Absolutely brilliant. And that'll be the penultimate episode of the series, just before the last one, because we usually do 25 a season. That'll be episode 24. 7. Smashing. Great cast again. So before we go, folks, just remember, tune in, subscribe, like, share, comment. And before we go, actually, I put a thing up on the Facebook group page last night because I was sitting with a wee whiskey and feeling quite cheeky. And it was a picture of Kelly MacDonald, right, who has been my movie crush ever since fucking Trainspotting in 1996, I think it was. And I asked the people, who's your movie crush on it? John never answered, obviously.
Yeah, I didn't answer because I thought you would probably bring it up today.
Aye, but I'm going to ask it. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to ask it. But I'm going to read you some people's first, then I'm going to ask you two who uses her. So, James Patterson, or James Patterson, as I like to call him, gave us a monologue about Michelle Keegan and about how she was in. He actually met her in the Savoy back in the day when she was going to be, in his words, the prick for Towie. To tell him, I says she's married to that prick. You know what I mean? Ragnar Potter, good pal of mine, he says he's a young boy. It was Pamela Anderson, and then he gravitated towards Denise for EastEnders, the black woman for EastEnders. So I quite liked her, though, actually. Joanne Duff, who I put my mortgage on. Well, Joanne Wild now, sorry. I'd have put my mortgage on her saying Brad Pitt. But she said, I've moved on, and then posted a picture of Jason Momoa. But our number one will always be Slash for Guns N' Roses, which I kind of knew anyway. And then my pal Don Grossert fucking put up a photo of Chib for Sons of Anarchy. What's his name again?
Tommy Flanagan.
Flanagan, that's it. Him. And then she also put a picture up of Kurt Russell and Overboard. And then lastly, my wee pal Charlene is she posted a gif of Rocky and Drago in the ring. I says, what one is it, Stallone or Lundgren? She's like, Beth. So there we go. So John, who's yours?
I had a wee thing when I seen it, and I was like, oh, I don't remember having one, but then I can't remember what movie it was for either. I don't know if it was X-Men or not, but Famke Janssen is mine. She's a 90s Famke Janssen I'll put up against anybody.
She's a handsome woman, that, by the way. Oh, yes. And she's a fucking mutant. Yes!
Yeah, well, that helps, doesn't it?
Christopher. What's his name?
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
What a party he'd fucking have, I tell you.
I know. Oh, that was a good night out with Philip. I don't know. I'll just say young perverted me was Jessica Rabbit. Know what I mean? I think it was drawn that way, so you just go fucking infatuated with it.
I'm not bad, I'm just drawn that way.
I think that was fucking... Chandler Bing's favourite celebrity crush and all, was it not?
It was. That's before you were born.
I know, but I watched it as but a young child. And you're going, oh yeah, she's no bad, huh?
Christ, the time you were born, that'd have been a period drama. Fuck's sake.
Well, I'm getting the grade school jokes again.
Yeah. I mean, you kind of go wrong with Charlize Theron, know what I mean? Oh, Halle Berry. Remember Halle Berry and Swordfish? That was smashing that.
No, I remember it in Monsters Ball.
What one she got her jabs at? Is that Swordfish?
No, Swordfish. But I'm just that. Mate, I'm a sentinel being, mate. I'm there for everybody.
You're an equal opportunities employer, Chris. That's what you are.
That's it, mate.
Everybody's beautiful, man.
Aye. Oh.
So there you go. It's a bit of fun. So get on the Facebook group page, folks, if you aren't already. And if you want a film reviewed, drop me a line and you can be world famous for an hour and a half, just like John was today. And
no, it's that good. I would do it again. That's what I would say to everybody.
Mate, you're more than welcome. Gives another suggestion. Just wrap it in and I'll stick it on the list. But that's us, folks.
Jean Grey and X-Men. What was her name?
Aye. The original one.
Aye, because I've seen her in the faculty and all that. Aye, go with her. We'll go with her.
I know who I said.
Aye, you did say that. That's her.
Is it? Yeah, it's John
That's what I thought. I thought it was you just realising who said that.
Does that mean we'd be casting swords? Oh.
I see when you said that, I thought you were talking about her that played Mystique, because I can now remember her name. And I was like,
oh, you mean like Jennifer Lawrence?
No, the first one. It was her. She was in Species, I know, wasn't she?
I think so. Here, that's what it was. Species, half of Species, that's what it is, because I watched that film Species religiously as a small child. It's probably not the right film to be watching, but we'll go with her instead. Because it couldn't have been watching the fucking Alien, put it that way. No.
Oh no. There's an Xenomorph. It's got two mouths. Anyway, folks, listen, thanks once again. Goodbye from me.
And goodbye for him.
See you later.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
The views and opinions of this podcast are solely our own, with no direct intention to offend or upset.
Brilliant. Fucking brilliant.
So share your dreams.